Welcome back to the wildest game. Today we're talking about what I believe to be the absolute best deal by far in the trail camera industry if you're looking to get into a cell cam, or 10 in my case. We're talking about Spypoint. Now, whether you love them, hate them, or love to hate them, it's no secret Spypoint has a reputation and it's not the best. But hey, if you're balling on a budget, the newer Spypoint Flex series, like this camera here, this exact camera I paid $30 for. It is refurbished, but $30 for a cell cam with dual antennas, that's a pretty crazy deal in my book. So, might be for you. We're going to see if it's for me. Now, personally, I think the dumpster fire of a reputation Spypoint has everything to do with, come on, focus. This guy right here, the Link Micro. I got 6 of these. They're all garbage, honestly. Like, I don't know why I haven't thrown this camera away. Their dumpster fire reputation had everything to do with the Link Micro line of cameras they released in 2019. These cameras shook up the trail camera industry due to how affordable they were, especially if you could find them on sale. If I remember correctly, when I bought this camera and the other 5 I had just like it, they were around $150 for a 2-pack and came with SD cards. This is a deal no other cell cam company could even touch at the time. Most cell cams around 2020 and earlier were around $200 a piece, and the data was expensive, or you had to go to your cell phone carrier and take out a plan on them, which is super annoying. Spypoint fixed all that, but what they didn't fix is their camera, because these things oftentimes were a loaded hunk of crap. The Link Micro cams had more red flags than your ex-girlfriend. They chewed through batteries, had constant issues with cellular connection. The biggest issue with the cellular connection on these cameras was that they were not dual carrier. Now, dual carrier was kind of new when these came out. I'll give them a little grace on that. But all my cameras were Verizon. They worked okay when I was on a lease in an area where Verizon had better signal. But then I moved to a different area, and now all my cameras were relegated to only working at the very top of the ridge when there were no clouds and you prayed hard. My God, why? These cameras did not do very well for me after the first year. Now, on top of having constant issues with cellular connection, they would randomly stop working. And they would randomly just run out of battery, and the app would say it has 50% battery. You'd be getting no pictures. You don't know what's going on. So what do? You have to go all the way down to wherever you put this camera out. In my case, this is an hour away from home. Go hike into the woods, disturb the woods where you put this camera out, just to find out, oh, the batteries are dead. So these things, they caused a lot of problems. And for that reason, a lot of people just didn't like them. Oh, and on top of that, the Spypoint app that paired with these, it really sucked. That's why Spypoint has the reputation it has, and honestly, they've earned it. But I do think in 2025 we may owe them just a tiny bit of grace, And with that comes the Flex series. Lucky for you, I've wasted plenty of my hard-earned money on the new and improved Flex series of cameras, which is the topic of today's video. It's not sponsored, so you don't have to worry about me lying to you. So let's dive in. I've been running 4 of these Flex M cameras, including this one, which I haven't taken out of the box. So technically I've been running 3, but I got 4 of these Flex M's, 6 of these refurbished Flex cameras, and 2 bricked Flex G36s that we'll talk about here in a minute. After all of the issues that my original Spypoint cameras gave me, why on earth would I buy 10 more Flex cameras? Well, to be honest with you, these were $50 a piece with cards. Pretty crazy deal. These were $30 a piece without cards. An even crazier deal. And I forgot to cancel my Spypoint club membership, which is $100 a year, and it gives all of your cameras 250 free photos without a cell plan. The thought was, I can buy 10 of these cameras, or however many I want. There's no cap. I might end up with 20. We'll see. But I could buy however many of these cameras I want, put them out in as many places as I want, and as long as I'm putting them in places where I'm not anticipating to get 1,000 photos, I don't ever have to pay for a cell plan. And honestly, for most of us, if you're wanting to run a large array of cell cameras, and I think most of us would rather run more than we have. If your goal is to run a large array of cell cameras, generally the largest barrier to entry is the monthly rate. Because I mean, you stack 10 cameras at most unlimited plans are around $20 a month. Most basic plans start at $4 or $5 a month. But I mean, shoot, 10 cameras. I'm running 15 cameras this year, including my stealth cameras. We're not gonna, I don't want to get off topic. Anyways, I'm running 15 cameras this year. If I ran 15 cameras at $4 a camera, that's $60 a month. $60 a month for a very, very basic minimal plan on all my cameras, not including batteries. Cell cams can get expensive, guys, and believe it or not, I'm not made out of money. I know they print more every day, but no one's giving it to me. I had to figure something out, and this is what I figured out. Basically, I got 10 of these cameras. They're all going in places like scrape lines, trail crossings, pinch points, areas where deer will naturally be moving, not necessarily like on a food plot or a feeder or a bait pile or something that I'm just going to get blasted with photos on. These cameras are specifically, in my use case, going to be for areas with decent traffic, but not somewhere where deer are going to be hanging out. So areas where deer are passing through, giving me more data on how the deer are using my land and the public land around my land. So that's how I plan on using these. I plan on keeping them all on their 250s. And if I start getting a higher number of photos, I'll extend the time between detections to try and draw out and make sure I'm hanging right around that 250 mark. That's the plan anyway. We'll see how it goes. So far with the 3 I've been running, it's been fine. They run on a dual carrier, so they work with both AT&T and Verizon towers. I'm happy to say that in areas where I place these cameras, including river bottoms where my Link Micros never work, these cameras had no issues finding signal. I have noticed, however, compared to my stealth revolvers, that the instant transmission speed of photos, especially if you put it in high quality photo mode, which why wouldn't you? Doesn't cost any more. Why would you want a lower quality photo? Anyways, these things take forever. It's like sometimes it'll be an hour after the detection that I get a photo from these cameras, and that can be kind of frustrating. I don't know if just the processing speed in these cameras is slow or what's going on, but expect a little bit of lag time. That's what I've noticed. Just so to give you an example, if I have a deer hitting a scrape at say 7 a.m., I might not get the photo until like 8 a.m. or longer. For most people, I don't think this is a make or break thing, but I do think it's worth mentioning. Another thing on the Flex series of cameras, these ones, unlike the Link Micros, they're GPS enabled. For me, that's huge, especially if you're gonna run a large array of cameras. You go in the app, you pull up the map, you can see where all your cameras are. If your batteries die, or if you can't remember where you set a camera, I've done it. I lost one of the Link Micros like that. You know, you got a map, you know where things are, so you can go get them. And if you hunt public land, that does make these cameras a little bit harder to steal, because if anyone powers them on at their house, guess what, bud? Coming to your house. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about their app. No surprise, it still sucks. Sometimes you have to restart or refresh the app to see new photos. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the app. You can see here, it shows nothing. I swipe down, okay, now I got my photos. Anyways, the app still kind of sucks. Sometimes you have to restart the app just like you saw there to see the photos. If you click a photo, no double tap to zoom. I mean, it's 2025. This is basic stuff. They should really connect this. Sometimes if you're swiping through photos, it has a hard time going to full screen on the photos. Other than that, the app's fine. It's a little clunky. Again, you've got a map, a ton of pop-ups. See, it's just, what the? Is it me? Am I the problem? There's no way. Oh, you can double tap to zoom in on the app. Ain't that convenient? So you can see, it shows you where all your, well, maybe you can see. Anyways, it shows you where all your cameras are. So that's cool. But other than that, The app's pretty basic. It's really not that special. The biggest selling point for Spypoint, in my opinion, is their data plans. No one's touching Spypoint on data plans anytime soon. So when you buy a Spypoint, every single camera comes with 100 free photos at the base level. Just because you buy a camera doesn't mean you have to buy a data plan. That's very attractive. However, what I like is if you get their club membership, it's $100 a year and it gives you 250 photos with each camera. And if you're paying for a data plan, it gives you more photos for the same money or less money for the same amount of photos. However you want to look at it. It gives you a little bit better deal if you're in the club plan. But for me, that 250 free photos is what I'm after with these cameras. Again, $30 a camera, free transmission plan. I don't think anyone's beating that. If you can find someone that can beat it, you know, drop me a comment. I'll buy them. You know what I'm saying? My strategy, I put these cameras on scrapes, creek crossings, pinch points with a 3 to 5 minute detection delay between photos so I can stay under that 250 photo threshold and avoid a monthly bill. If you need unlimited, Spypoint is still a good deal, but their monthly rates are similar to their competitors. For me, I'm running 10 Spypoints at $0 a month. My only cost is batteries, and in higher traffic areas around food plots, feeders, etc., I'm running stealth revolvers, which cost me $4 to $10 a month per camera. Between 5 revolvers and 10 flex cams, the deer I'm chasing have a really hard time hiding. At least that's in theory. You know, I shot 2 this year. I'm still working on it. My final thoughts, if you still have PTSD from the Link Micros, it might just be time to give Spypoint a second chance. For me, there's no way I could afford to run 15 cell cams every season without Spypoint. So despite all their red flags, how could I say no? I'm gonna get these in the field. I'm gonna test them out. And we're gonna see how they do. Hopefully they work great. Really, the only issue I've had with the Flex M's that I've been running, one of my Flex M's out of the box, the exposure is kind of wonky. So sometimes it'll send me a dark image, sometimes it'll send me a bright image. That's only with daytime images, which is arguably the most important time to get images. The night images seem to be perfectly fine. So at any rate, I can deal with a couple issues. I can deal with a couple red flags. I'm gonna get these cameras in the woods and hopefully they're gonna give me more luck this season. And hopefully this video gives you more luck this season. And if it does, you know, like and subscribe. Helps me out, hurts you none. Peace.